This is the part 1 of the story titled The Strange Girl in My House. This is Chioma sweeping her room one fateful day in the evening. When she was sweeping the dirt outside the room, she found something that got her amazed, totally confused, because she never knew that such a thing could be found in her room. She found a broom, a short broom, tied with rope, and in between the broom was her picture. The person that did it brought the broom, put her picture in between the broom, and used rope to tie it round. She stood there confused, wondering who could have done this and what was the intention of the person who did this. It was obvious that that was a charm and it was done against her. It was done to do something evil to her. After some time, she walked away to go and sit down aside, thinking about so many things, because there are only 2 people in that room, herself and a friend of hers that she accepted to squat with her by name Ebere. It was obvious to her that Ebere did this to her, but the reason she did it, she could not say. She started thinking about her stay with Ebere and her character so far. She remembered what happened one day when Obinna, her boyfriend, came to visit her. She was in the bathroom taking her bath when Obinna came. Ebere was the one inside the room when Obinna came. Obinna knocked, Ebere opened the door, and Obinna asked after her. But Ebere told Obinna that Chioma was not around. Instead of telling Obinna that Chioma was in the bedroom, she told Obinna that Chioma was not around. Her reason for saying that, nobody knew. When Obinna left, few minutes after, Chioma came out from the bedroom and called Ebere to ask her who was that she was talking to when she was in the bedroom. Ebere told Chioma it was Obinna, her boyfriend. Chioma asked Ebere where is Obinna then, if Obinna was the person that came here. Ebere told Chioma that Obinna has gone, that she told him that she was not around. Chioma was like, why did you have to tell Obinna that I was not around? Ebere told Chioma that Obinna's disturbance is becoming too much. She just came in now and needed to rest. Now Obinna is here to take her away, that she just told Obinna to go so that she will have some rest before going out again. Chioma told Ebere that it was not must that they will go out, that they can stay at home and discuss and Obinna will still go without taking her out. Ebere told Chioma not to worry, that what happened has happened, that she should come inside and rest, and left her and went inside. Chioma was surprised and went inside too. Within a short time, we saw Chioma rushed out. Dressed up already, she rushed out because she had to go and meet Obinna to explain things to him, owing to the fact that Obinna called her on phone before coming and she told Obinna to come, that she was around. Now Obinna came and was told that she was not around. She had to rush out to go and explain things to Obinna. When Chioma left, we saw Ebere rushed out, looking at Chioma's direction in what seems not to be a happy mood. It was obvious she had something in mind, but nobody was able to tell at that time. Within a short time, Chioma rushed back shouting, Ebere, Ebere, come out, something good has happened. Ebere came out and saw Chioma so happy with a package in her hand. Obinna bought Chioma a phone, a very nice Android phone. She was so happy to show her friend Ebere the gift from Obinna. Then Ebere came out. Of course, everyone would expect Ebere to be happy for her friend to have gotten a new phone. But something different happened. She collected the phone and made some statement. She started by saying that she never knew that Obinna could buy a phone. Talk more of buying a new brand phone for her. She glanced through the phone in what seems to be a pretending mood, put the phone back inside the bag and gave it back to her and went inside. Chioma was surprised looking at her. She went inside too. Later that evening, we saw Ebere at a corner by the wall in a hidden place, murmuring, talking to herself. It seemed that something was bothering her, but if you watch closely, you will discover that she was making a secret plan, and whatever it was she was talking about, she didn't want her friend to hear about it, and that's why she went to a corner, a hidden corner, to murmur and to point fingers. Chioma, after remembering all these things about Ebere since Ebere started living with her, she also remembered that at a point she started having problem with Obinna, problem that came from nowhere, to the point that Obinna had the mind to raise his fingers on her. She remembered one day that she came back from Obinna's place limping. She had bandage on her leg. Obinna was not considerate in dealing with her to the point that Obinna was beating her, and in the course of that, she missed her step and had a dislocation on her ankle. As soon as Ebere saw her coming in, she rushed to help her to sit down. She sat down and Ebere was asking her what happened. She explained to Ebere and Ebere got upset. Pick her phone to call Obinna. She called Obinna and told him everything she was able to remember that moment. There is nothing she did not tell Obinna, and you know, of course, all was pretense. After the phone call, she sat close to Chioma and started consoling her, telling her not to worry, that Obinna will never come close to her again, and she will make sure that Obinna never near their house or even come close to her or even have anything called relationship to do with her. At this point, it was clear to Chioma that Ebere was the one working against her relationship with Obinna, and Ebere was one that did what she saw that morning, tying her picture with broom together, which can be called juju in Africa. It was clear to Chioma that Ebere did that so that she will start having problem with her boyfriend Obinna, and she succeeded in doing that. After that, Chioma also remembered how Ebere came to her place. When Ebere came, she was helpless, and she had to call Obinna, her boyfriend, to tell him about Ebere staying with her. Obinna was not that comfortable with everything, but Obinna told her that if she has accepted to bring in or allow Ebere to stay with her, there is no problem. But to him, he has never been comfortable the very first time he set his eyes on Ebere. That something in him has been telling him that Ebere has something dubious about her life. After remembering all these things, Chioma was almost in tears, asking question, what has she done? Trying to help somebody who was stranded, trying to help a friend who was stranded. Of course, Chioma must take action immediately because this is not normal. But please, before we continue this story, if you happen to find yourself in this position of Chioma, who accepted Ebere into her house and Ebere went as far as doing this kind of a thing, bringing in juju to separate Chioma and Obinna from being together, what will you do? What are you going to do if you find yourself in this position of Chioma? And again, what is your advice to Chioma in this matter? What do you tell Chioma to do in this matter? Having seen this done by Ebere, her friend, what do you also advise Obinna to do when he hears this kind of a thing? Please drop your advice, your contribution on the comment section, and please, you must have to help us to share this video as I see you on Friday with the part 2 and the conclusion of the story. Thank you, and don't forget, this is House of the Sons Global. Bye for now.